This report reveals it may be much easier to hack into a personal cell phone than you might think. Nearly 2/3 of Americans own a smartphone. Attacks on phones are growing, and that puts the personal information of millions of Americans at risk. On this Sunday's 60 Minutes, Sharon Alfonsi investigates why phones are so vulnerable. She also looks at the surprising role hackers play in protecting our data. Sharon, good morning.
Good morning. Well, as the number of mobile devices explodes, so does the number of attacks on our cell phones. Sometimes you know your phone has been hacked, but often you don't. We sat down with some of the world's best hackers who showed us just how easy it is for them to get access to. Now, the hack that you just saw only took a matter of minutes, and I was fooled by that fake Wi-Fi. But in other demonstrations that we're going to show you on Sunday, the hackers were able to exploit a hole in the global cellular network and get into our phones, turn on our cameras, listen to us. All they needed for that was a phone number. With just the phone number, they could hack into my phone.
It's incredible. So what do you think the greatest weakness is in mobile security?
I mean, we're the greatest weakness because, like what I just did, where it said, you know, the hotel name and the Wi-Fi, I believed that that was it. I connected, and they really easily got control of my phone. But there's this bigger problem of this hole in the global cellular network that it doesn't matter what you do, what decisions you make, whether you turn location services on or off, they can still get into your cell phone.
Did they know anything about who hacked the FBI got to hack the San Bernardino phone?
Do those guys know?
Yeah.
You'd have to ask them, and I guarantee they wouldn't answer.
But Sharon, if you're staying at the Four Seasons Hotel
Right.
and it says Four Seasons Wi-Fi, why would you doubt that?
Why would you doubt that?
That's
It
what I'm
said
saying. So
Four
how can we
Seasons
tell?
Wi-Fi.
And you're at the Four Seasons.
You
so
don't
what do
know.
we do in that situation?
You don't know. And it is not, when it says free Wi-Fi, I mean, there's the ones that are so obvious. Free Wi-Fi, connect here. You're like, oh, that's probably not legitimate. But when it says Four Seasons Wi-Fi, you think it's the Four Seasons Wi-Fi. You don't know. You don't know.
You know, Peter Greenberg, he has told us before, don't turn on your Wi-Fi and check your bank account when you're on a public system like at the airport or something like that, because that's extremely vulnerable. You say even though if you're getting dressed or whatever, they can have access to your camera on your phone?
Yeah, so think about this. So with just the phone number, they were able to access my phone. So can I borrow your phone for a second because I didn't bring mine?
Yeah.
So my phone looked just like this. It didn't light up. No light came on.
Yeah.
And they were able to watch me and listen to me. So imagine you take your phone into a meeting, you place it on the desk. You take your phone, you know, when you're getting dressed in the morning. They could be watching you and you wouldn't know. Now, the reality is they don't care about most of us. They're not going to try to hack our phones. The bigger issue here is politicians, business leaders that could easly be spied on.
Wow. Really interesting. Thank you,
And
Sharon.
really scary.
That's scary
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Turn your phone over.
All right, thank you, Sharon. And Sharon's going to look at how hackers pose a risk to national security. That's all Sunday on 60 Minutes right here.
I want to ask you about this device. This is not my iPhone. This is what drug dealers resort to. This is called a burner. It's a temporary. It's the one I brought to cover the Olympics because our IT people told me that the Russians are so good at infiltration. How good, and how good are the Americans? What can the NSA do with this device if they wanted to get into my life?
So first off, that's probably the most expensive burner I've ever seen. But I guess we're at the upmarket.
I'm using a term of
upmarket
art.
drug dealer
Yeah.
here.
This is
The
turned off, it's
NSA
inert.
Right. The NSA, the Russian intelligence service, the Chinese intelligence service, any intelligence service in the world that has significant funding and a real technological research team can own that phone the minute it connects to their network. As soon as you turn it on, it can be theirs. They can turn it into a microphone, they can take pictures from it, they can take the data off of it. But it's important to understand that these things are typically done on a targeted basis, right? It's only done when people go, this phone is suspicious. I think it's being held by a drug dealer. I think it's being used by a terrorist. Or, if you're an intelligence service, I think the person who came into the country is a spy. They've got something that I need to know. I want to know who they're meeting with.